Hey guys, I'm at the Australian Crypto Convention. It's been an interesting day one. So I've been on a couple of panels already, and there's the main presentation that I'll be giving in about an hour's time. Look, the interesting thing for me is there's a lot of people that are coming into crypto, and interestingly, lending is trending, right? But the challenge, however, is that most of the lending options that are available are no different to a lot of these centralized players where they actually make an offer to you to lock up your asset and then you can borrow against it. And whilst in principle that sounds okay, it introduces counterparty risk. And at a couple of the panels I've actually voiced that quite clearly, that look, the whole concept of crypto is all about self-sovereignty, right? That you should be able to effectively lock up an asset, mint a stablecoin, and then use that in whatever way you feel appropriate. The challenge, however, is a lot of what's being promoted out there is, to be honest, it's all that centralized garbage. And the one example that I cited that kind of turned a few heads was that if anyone could remember Celsius and whether they recall the Alex Mashinsky days, right? And so that, for me, that was no different. So you've got these people that are locking up, you're handing over your crypto, they're locking it up and giving you a reasonable rate in terms of borrowing. But the reality is that it's a centralized player, and that creates counterparty risk. And so as opposed to liquid loans where, hey, it's your asset, it's the community that's lending, and fundamentally you've got an opportunity of borrowing against your asset without having to deal with any counterparty risk. So from that point of view, I think people were quite excited by that option. And so for me, that's been one of the telltales for today.